Okay, so now we have something different in the program. We don't have a traditional talk. And next, we have a small interactive session. So I will invite Gunta Krumina from my Osaango team here, and we are going to do an exercise with you. And this is having a relationship to what Pia Erkinheimo from the Finnish Climate Fund is going to talk about tomorrow morning in her keynote. And so this is your way of contributing to that talk and to the bigger societal issues. But I think Gunta is ready to explain more about what's going to happen. Gunta, can you unmute yourself? There are quite a lot of moving parts to this session, so let's hope everything works out in the tech side of things. And in the meanwhile, I'll just share a link to the chat there so that you can participate in this session. Gunta, can you get unmuted in the meanwhile?
Yeah.
Great.
Hello. Very nice
Thank
to
you.
see everyone, and meaning we maybe don't see all of you, but we are glad to have everybody of you in this workshop that is 100 ideas how API could help to save us from crises that are there, and we want to go through this session together, and we will do it on Menti.com using the code. I think that maybe the presentation is, have to check if it is shared. If not, then one second. Yeah, I think that right now it will be there.
And in the meanwhile, when Gunta is sharing the presentation, the link is in the chat in where you can see and join the Menti session and answer questions.
Yeah, I guess that now it is on. Good. So I wanted to introduce myself. I am Gunta Krumina from Finnish company Osaango, and our company had been running already many digital and API innovation projects. And I also had been leading and participating in many of those projects for our customers and planning and facilitating multiple workshops. Osaango is keen to make also the world a better place with help of APIs and data, and with all what we are doing. So, and our today's workshop is aimed at co-creating ideas that could be used by Finnish Climate Fund and other players who work for sustainable world. It equally well can be used also for your own company. So we want to apply our experience in today's workshop and help you to go through this Express API ideation session as smoothly as possible. Our workshop today is a way to address these huge critical issues and crises in today's world with help of collective innovation and APIs. So as we all know, the world is facing climate issues, resource depletion, ongoing economical and humanitarian crisis, amongst others. And we can't solve all these issues at once. And of course, we also can't arrive to finalize solution in a half an hour workshop. But at least we can open doors and start working on some of them. So we can discover how API and data can be utilized in help to solve some of these existential problems. So today we will have two focus areas in this workshop. First, we will try to look a bit into reduction and recycling of waste. And second, efficient adaptation of services to changing weather conditions. How are you participating? We will be using this Menti.com, as already had been mentioned, and you are very glad to see that you are there already sharing your place and your hello in your language. So it's a nice first warm-up exercise. If somebody had joined just now, so please go to Menti.com website, as you see on this slide, and use the code also that you see here to share your greetings to others. Okay, please use the chat for questions because we can't hear you otherwise. And the working session is going in this Menticom website. Then it will work very simply. You will see the next questions when they will be coming up, and also the next slides with a couple of ideas. And I will announce every task separately, but you also will see when you are on the Menticom. In general, about these ideas, you don't need to be an expert to come up with idea. Remember, there are no bad ideas, and every thought that you will come up can help. And it even doesn't need to be finalized idea or complicated idea. Even it doesn't necessarily need to involve API from the beginning, because it can be worked on afterwards. Just think of the concrete problem that we will present in a moment, and what comes to your mind when how it could be approached. So every one of us had been solving problems in our life, and the more we think of different solutions, the more we even train and sharpen our own brain. So it's in different ways could benefit. So let's co-create together. Let's start with the first topic about waste. Here is one of statistics just showing how many different industries and sectors are generating waste, and just one small number to see the number of this, the extent of this problem is that 5.2 tons of waste were generating per European Union inhabitant in 2018, and 38% of waste were landfilled, and only 37% of waste were recycled in European Union. So you imagine all this growing amount of waste. Meaning that leads us to the problem that recycling is important for the resource-wise future, but still not all industrial, commercial, and domestic waste is recycled, as we all know that very well. And we were working with a method in many other workshops that is opposite thinking method. We can't go through it fully because this workshop is much shorter, but we are using a bit adjusted version of it. And what we will do, we will look now at one assumption that we created for this waste problem, and it is that storing waste before recycling takes a lot of storage because the waste is difficult to separate. And through this opposite thinking method, we created 3 assumptions that you will be trying to find solutions for. So one of them is waste can be compressed very tightly but still be easily separated. The other is opposite assumption that sorting process is easily automated and storage time can be minimized, or disposing of waste illegally can be detected. And we will try to see how we can do or create our own input. So now we will have this first question and first task for you. When we think that waste actually is compressed very tightly and can't be easily separated in these industrial companies and in all these waste places. So what you might think, as I mentioned, please don't think of any complicated things, just what comes to your mind. Anything is very useful. And I will put now the timer also, so that we have 2.5 minutes. First, it will show a little bit. I will restart it because we have only 1 minute. So let's go with first minute, and then you still have 2.5 minutes. Please go on. Great ideas keep coming. We still have half a minute, so please use it.
I think that I think we are getting quite a lot of good ideas and quite a lot of ideas that actually include or can use APIs, a lot of different kinds of APIs. And that's one thing that we can always think about, how to change our existing APIs, for example, to accommodate this more.
Yeah, great.
I think we have enough here.
We have enough. Good. Do we want a little bit go through them, or we go now ahead and go to the next one and we'll summarize at the end? I guess that.
I think that just as a kind of really short comment, I think that there are some really clear ideas that can really be seen that, okay, this is one step and it can be using certain APIs and certain technologies. And then there are these kind of wider systemic ideas that might need a lot of organizations and a lot of APIs to be combined, and that's all fine. So keep all these kinds of ideas coming in the next ones.
Yeah, exactly. That was the point, that the more ideas and the more diverse they are, the more we can find together some solutions. Okay, let's go to the next.
Don't censor yourself.
Yeah, so here is the next one, that the sorting process is complex because manual material recognition, and maybe there was a little bit something of that in previous, but anyway, this is already separate and your solution idea, and I start again the timer. Great, and last half a minute. Okay, thank you for ideas. We again have a nice collection of ideas. And I think that at this point, we still go to the third in this group, and afterwards we can a little bit check what we have got so far. So the next one is stop illegal disposal of waste. It's not so easy one, but I hope that you also can have good ideas, because it's not maybe only about a country where it's not so easy, but we could think also globally, and these solutions will be there. So I start the timer.
I think there are some really interesting ideas here, and that's the thing, that this method is kind of taking away the pain of overthinking. You just don't have time to overthink and censor yourself. And that creates a lot of ideas where you can then harvest the better ones with next methods.
Yeah, and good that it's already here, that using already existing open APIs, that's...
Exactly. And this is what we talked with Mehdi, for example, in the first keynote, that the issue is that a lot of times people just have problems of coming up with great ideas to use APIs. It's not the APIs themselves, but getting to the business cases.
Yeah, exactly. Good. So I think that we can, we can move to the second topic that we are going through today. So let's check what we have. The problem is that we are talking about weather, and it is a very important factor for business in many industries, and of course can cause a lot of expensive damage if the weather conditions are not favorable. And so what we had been coming up with assumption. One of things that is sensitive, that is sensitive devices which don't easily adapt to extreme weather. For example, you might have your phone, and you have in very, very hot or very cold weather, it might stop to work. So it's just like basic, your private thing, but there are many sensitive devices also in industries. So what we came up with two opposite assumptions, that let's assume that temperature sensitive devices can handle extreme heat and cold, and the other one, that is automated methods for dealing with weather changes, could be applied. And based on these two opposite assumptions, we again come up with the tasks for you. And first one would be this, that these devices can handle extreme heat and cold, and how we could do it so that they would be able to handle this extreme heat and cold. So please come with your ideas.
And these can be any, these can be any devices. If you are not familiar with some industries, then just envision.
Just like smartphone. this seems to be a bit tricky one. But I this time didn't give 2.5 minutes because I think that we would like to go through, we still have 2 questions and then we could have wrap up. So let's go to the next one. So we were talking about automated methods for dealing with weather changes and they could be applied. So any ideas that you have about these automated methods, please, you are welcome. Think and let us know.
And this can be people, devices, or anything else that is familiar to you that you can think of. Okay, I think that we better finish up so that we can get sticking to the program. So use the remaining time to get your ideas in. And I think that we have shown that there is a possibility to really innovate with APIs when you just have the right methods and you're like not overthinking it and you're crowdsourcing the ideas. And we will use these ideas to actually give some ideas for Pia Erkinheimo tomorrow from the Finnish Climate Fund. And of course, if any of you see any of the ideas here that you would want to use, then go ahead. And the Climate Fund in Finland is actually ready to give money for those startups, for example, who build something digital as a platform with or without APIs that would actually help resource-wise future. So aren't we quite happy, Gunta, with this result?
Yeah, I think so. If anybody would have any other idea, we are letting you add it here. But otherwise,
thank you everyone for participating, and thank you, Gunta, for facilitating the workshop. And with that said, we'll move on to the next